These are actually called Josie candlestick, and they can be used for tapers to be put in here. It's a very thin taper, or flip it over and use it as a pillar stand. It's very, very stable, and it's very exciting, especially when you use it in multiples, that kind of a bubbly effect. But the fun thing is it also is a great vase. It has an opening there, but also has an opening to the side as well. That's a top unit and then a bottom unit. So each one of them will contain water, and you can design from it. Now, if you're using flowers that are really heavy, because this is fairly light, even when it's filled with light, it's fairly light, so that if you want to use heavier flour, I'm going to advise that you use something like this with the glass beads at the bottom so it weighs it down, and that'll help anchor it some more. But what I like to do is show you how you can use these as multiples and how you can use it to efficiently use flour so that it looks good mechanically and also aesthetically. What I'm going to use is actually here Psittacorum. This is Heliconia psittacorum tropic floor, and you can see that it goes down to that two ball length there. And I'm going to use this piece here, two of them like this, so that sort of fits that opening. But what I'm going to do here, so that, because you can see that if I attempt to put flowers on the side, it makes it, well, this is not so bad, but see how it makes it kind of tippy. And I really want the stem to stay up. So in order to get that to happen, what I do is I take aluminum wire, number 10 gauge. Now, this is something I want to also show you about with Accent Decor, their aluminum wire. They come in rolls like this, but if you use this material a lot, you can buy it in rolls, the big jumbo rolls, which is really fantastic because it's much more economical. So what I'm going to do is just simply create just a roll, and I'm just going to cut this off here and take a chunk off of this roll and just simply wrap this around the neck of it. It's just pure mechanics. That's why it's really nice that it's a decorative wire, so that it looks like it's part of the decoration rather than just mechanics completely. I'm going to just sort of wrap it around, because the whole idea is to make it so that I have the ability to, whatever I put in there, I have the ability to sort of sandwich between the wire and push it up so that the stem doesn't hang down. So I'm just going to start out like this on each one of those neck, and I will do likewise with this one to control the stem insertion on that upper opening. And then I'll do likewise with the piece below, the second layer at the bottom. And it's important that some of the wire stays somewhat loose and not all tight around the end, so that I could bring the stem into this area and push it up, and the wire will keep the stem up. That's sort of the whole idea behind this very simple mechanic. And I'm going to do this as well. It's always good when you can do a mechanic that looks decorative at the same time. I think I like things when it multitasks. It's like all of us trying to do many things all at once. It's really a very good skill to have, even for flowers. So there, and then I am able to then use like this Aranthera azima, and this way, because these are nice big sprays, I can get several out of this, and so then I can use it to slip in like this. See how now it rests on that edge, and I can lower it if I want to, or bring it up if I want to. This is the beauty of that mechanic, is it helps you keep the stem up and not dangling. And it keeps it nice and tight, so that if I put another one, there it goes, it stays up. And I will do likewise with this one. I'm going to slip it in between here so it stays up. And this one's going to be much longer, so it's going to be a little bit more weighty, so all the more that we need this mechanic. So I'm going to slip that down in there. And then I'm able to actually bring this up like this, so it stays up there and not dangle down. That's how you do this. And so now I've got these other two already set, and I'm going to kind of bring this to the back, and maybe we're gonna go and swing this around and bring this to this end so that we have a grouping such as this. Let's see, this is starting to slip down a little bit, so we want to bring it up like that. And then I can take this alocasia, because there's still space enough to put another foliage. I do know my limitation. I know what the size of the opening is, and so I know I can't put too much in there, but this allows me to still slip another piece into this area. And I'll take a little bit of bare grass so that it flows from one to the other very effectively. So I'll put this to flow into that side. So now I got that little extension, and maybe I will put a little bit of grass in there so it extends out a little longer, and this piece to come across and over. So this really becomes a very lovely piece for like a buffet, where you want food on the table and you want the flowers elegantly floating over the table without taking up a lot of space on the table. So this kind of gives the effect that we're looking for.